Okay, first and foremost, I want to say I publicly apologize to Francis Ngannou for not picking him to win that fight. Good God, I feel bad for Stipe Miocic. He got baptized in there. Woo, he got torched. I tell you, man, I thought Stipe was really going to win that fight until I saw where he got that takedown stuff. So I was like, uh-oh. It's about to be a long night. But in all seriousness, congrats to Francis. He really deserved that title. He truly is the best fighter in the heavyweight division. He's the baddest man on the planet. Now what's next for him? Well, you got it's simple, Jon Jones or Derrick Lewis. And as far as marketing purposes, that's Jon Jones, because obviously that's the money fight everybody wants to see. But in terms of who deserves the title fight, it's Derrick Lewis. And besides, I think Francis would much rather fight Derrick just because Derrick's beaten him already. So I'd say Derrick Lewis should get that fight next. Now, Jon Jones, he hasn't really earned a heavyweight title match. I get he's the greatest light heavyweight of all time and everything he's done. But what's he done at heavyweight? He's never fought a heavyweight. So you don't know what he's going to look like. He may look better. He may look worse. You never know. I personally think he might look a little worse. He's going to slow down. So here's what I would do if I was Dana White or matchmakers or whatever. I would make Stipe, when he's healthy again, I'd have him fight Jon Jones for an interim title. And then the winner of that fight goes on to fight the winner of Francis Ngannou and Derrick Lewis too. You know? And then the interim champ fights the heavyweight, the undisputed champ. And then that'll be it. I mean, think about it. That's money right there. Stipe's money now. Nobody's defended the titles many times as Stipe. Stipe's famous. His name is on the Mount Moore of the heavyweight division. So with Stipe still around, if he still wins, that's big for him. You know, and besides, you know, me personally, I'd love to see Miocic and Jones fight, just because the Jones says he thinks he can beat him, and he thinks he's not that impressive and stuff. So I'd love to see that fight. I'd love to see Stipe shut his mouth. And again, Derrick Lewis, I don't think Derrick will beat Francis right now, but if anybody can, it's Derrick, because Derrick hits hard too. You know, so Francis is not going to blitz him, because he knows all it takes is one punch from Derrick to probably knock his lights out. So that's how I would do it. That's just my opinion. I don't know what Dana White thinks. I don't know what the other fans think. I don't know what the fighters think. But that's what I would like. Again, I'd like to see Miocic fight Jones for a #1 contendership, maybe an interim title. And then the winner goes to unify that title or get the fight Francis or Derrick Lewis. Think about it. So many possibilities. You got, let's suppose Derrick beats Francis. Let's say Stipe beats Jones. Stipe Miocic versus Derrick Lewis for the heavyweight title. That's never happened. Stipe beats Jones. Francis beats Derrick. You got Ngannou versus Miocic 3 for the heavyweight title. Everybody would probably like to see that fight just because of the trilogy. I would like to see that fight. Jones beats Miocic. Derrick Lewis beats Ngannou. Lewis versus Jones. That's an interesting fight. I'd pay to see that fight. Derrick Lewis may have a chance to beat either one of those guys. Jones or Jones versus Francis for the heavyweight championship. That could have happened last year. And if it happens this year or at the beginning of next year, that is huge. That's a money fight. The best heavyweight right now fights the greatest light heavyweight of all time and looks to defend his championship against him. And he probably will. That's just how I feel, you know. And it's so hard to pick a favorite out of Jones and Francis if it's Jones and Francis. Because Jones has never lost a fight. They're about the same age. But Francis is still learning. He's still a puppy in this game. You know, he's just creeping up on his prime. And nobody has done to Miocic what he did last night. Nobody. Not even with Cormier knocking him out a few years ago. I get he knocked him out, but he was losing that fight before he got knocked out. This fight wasn't close at all. So that's kind of scary. So if Francis' drug test comes back good, which it probably will, look out for Francis Ngannou. He's probably going to break that record of 3 title defenses too. He'll probably have 5 or 6 of them before someone even thinks about stopping him. I don't see anybody in the heavyweight division that's going to beat him anytime soon. That's just how I see it. It's going to take Francis to get old and out of his prime, and another young lion comes up and beats him. That's what I see happening. I think that's what just happened to Stipe. So It is what it is. I still love you, Stipe. But, Francis, you're the man. Again, I apologize. I should have given you more respect in this fight and give you a chance to win. I did not think you had the skills to beat Stipe other than the knockout power, which you did have the knockout power, but your wrestling, the leg kicks, the head kicks, taking Stipe down, stopping the takedowns, that really was surprising to me. So congrats, Ben. You deserve it. Enjoy that title, man. You deserve that title. You deserve everything after everything I've heard about with your personal life. And it's a great way to redeem yourself. So congrats, man. Stipe, get well. John Jones, you suck. I'm just kidding. John Jones is the man. Derrick Lewis, also the man, but you're not the best. But you are the Black Beast. We'll talk later, guys.